This is your friendly reminder to review your FAF replays and to say thank you for all the support on the channel. I am enjoying everybody joining the Discord and such. If you would like to get more involved in my community, please join the Discord and possibly consider subscribing if you like the video. Without a further ado, let's get into the castaroo. Well, hello there, you beautiful people. My name is Willow, and welcome to today's FAFcast. It's going to be a 4v4 on Seton's Clutch, and I am ready to introduce the players. We have two teams of four. Let's start with Team 1, as indicated by the little marker here. We're going to go ahead and start with the air position, Team 1 being up here at the top right. We have a orange Cybran by the name of Gary going first land. And then to his south, we have the rock player. It is going to be a blue Aeon by the name of Printer, and he is going first air. Then to his west, the front player, already on his way to the front, we have a red Seraphim by the name of Avenger going first land. Yeah, that's red. It's like a really dark red. Then we have a white Cybran by the name of Zeratu to his west, and he is a white Cybran. I think I already said that. He's going to be playing the beach position, and let's get on to Team 2. We'll go in the same order. We have the air player, who is a gray Aeon by the name of Zoxer? Zoxer? I'm going to try and not do a Dave this game, so this is Zoxter. If that's wrong, I am sorry, or Zoxor. If it's wrong, I'm sorry, whatever. Then to his north, we have the rock player, who is a purple Cybran going first air. His name is Colonel Cat, and he is walking his way over towards his hydro, I think, which is pretty cool. The front position already almost at the reclaim in the middle. He is a teal or cyan UEF by the name of Freddy Fresh. And then to his south, last but most definitely not least, we have the Seraphim first land beach player by the name of Spedibur? God damn it. There's two really hard to pronounce names on Team 2, and it's not very kind to me. We're gonna call you Spay. Your name is Spay. Because, or you know what? We're gonna go with Spee, because that's the name of a German battlecruiser from World War II? It was constructed during World War I, but it served in World War II. It was down in the Atlantic and the Pacific. It was raiding convoys. Your little bit of history for the day. Let's go ahead and go into the middle and see how the players are getting on with the reclaim game. We did have some shots exchanged, but nothing major. Avenger and Freddy Fresh are just going to be grabbing the reclaim that they can get. We will check in around the 5-minute mark just to see who does better on that front. And let's zoom out to see what's going on the rest of the map. We have pretty standard stuff. We're going to have to keep an eye on who gets each of these islands. Of course, very important to have these islands on Setons. Usually goes to the rock players respectively, not perspectively. And it is just in general a good idea to have, you know, the islands. It's more mass. 5 mass points. If you get those up to T2, that is... I'm not doing math. Somebody can tell me how valuable this rock is, this rock off to the side. Let's go ahead and retune into this middle area where we can see some Zooies firing at Freddy Fresh. And they are having themselves a grand old time. Another random tidbit, Avenger is the red Seraphim here. I drive a 2010 Dodge Avenger. It is RT, it's the 6-cylinder. It is a very working car. It does its job. I enjoy it. Fun fact, it's also the name of the biggest comic series, I think, ever now. Like, as far as gross profits, I would definitely consider Avengers to probably be the absolute best because of the MCU, of course. Maybe Batman has a running for that, though, because Batman fans are freaking zealous. I'm more of a Joker person myself. I like the Joker. Let's go ahead and check out on the islands. We do have Printer, the Blue Aeon. He has landed some engineers over here, and it doesn't look like there's much of a contest from his opponent, who is Spey. And then up here we have 2 engineers landing for Zeratu, and his counterpart. Did I even say Zeratu's name? Zerata? Oh man, if I didn't, I apologize. I mean, it's of course going to be popped up on the little graphic I do right here, which people say they like and they think it's really difficult to do, but no, it takes like a solid, like, max 5 minutes to do it for every player in a 4-player game. And these engineers are reclaiming each other, and it does look like Zeratu is going to manage to grab off the island. He is going to steal that from his opponent. Of course, that can change. If there's a land factory built, you just start dropping some tanks down. You can definitely, or Mantis, the only non-tank T1 unit, you can definitely check that out. Let's see how the players have done on Reclaim. We're just going to switch over to the Reclaim up here. This is the Supreme Scoreboard mod. I've had a couple people ask me. It is generally a good thing to have. Avenger getting very low on health, down to 1,200 hit points. He needs to move. He dies here. 200. Oh, it's going to be close, but no, there's not going to be an ejection for Team 2. Team 1 losing Avenger at the 6-minute mark. He managed to grab 5.8 thousand in Reclaim before he died, which is 800 more than Freddy Fresh, but that is definitely not a worthy trade, as his base is going to be shared over to Zeratu, who is, I guess, pretty competent. He did manage to steal the island. I would be a little bit surprised if it stays with Zeratu. I would think you might want to hand it to Printer, your highest rated player, but we'll see how that goes. But with that early ejection by the comm of Freddy Fresh, who is now sitting in the water getting T2. I believe in our first Steps dual cast we were talking about this. If your comm is low on health and you have the time, get T2, throws some health on your comm, and I did have it confirmed, it increases your health regen, so that's really nice. A really nice strategy to do. We do have a Jester T1 gunship and a drop for this island. It does look like Colonel Cat is not going to be giving up this island without a fight, and this is a pretty good response. The Jester will get rid of the Engineer, and then you can kill anything but the anti-air units, and as long as this factory comes up, I think he can win it back. And that with that Mantis completing, I don't think you can get enough anti-air up in time. Yeah, and it's building another Mantis. This island has been lost by Zeratu, but he did force out a Jester, did force more engineers to be built and more time to be wasted, so that's going to set Colonel Cat behind by a little bit. I forgot to mention kind of the average rating span we have. On Team 1, we have 2 1000s, 1 1200, or 2 1100s, 1 1200, and 1 800. And on Team 2, we have 1 900 in the front spot, a 1300 at air, and then 2 1000s at each of the respective Navy spots. So from the looks of it, if you were just basing this off rating, then the Navies would both win and the air would lose for Team 1. And, of course, if you were just basing this off rating, you would not expect Freddy Fresh to have already scalped his opponent, which is indeed something that's already happened this match. And, yep, that's just confirming it. This island is going to go to the Rock player, as well as the other island, both of them going to the Rock players, as expected. It just took a little bit longer to get to that conclusion than we originally expected. We do have a drop coming out from Spey. It's going to be a drop of engineers over here on the outermost little section. Drop the engineers, please. Please drop the engineers. There we go. He's going to be dropping engineers. Hopefully he gets up a factory or maybe some PD very quickly. I would assume that if this is scouted, Printer is already sending the comm. He is not. That's what you do with this. You send out the comm. It's going to get up a couple point defense, maybe get up a factory, and just really cause some mayhem for Team 1, who have been doing quite well this game. despite the early loss of their front player, they have not had any major setbacks. Let's go ahead and check on the air players, see exactly what's going on. Yeah, the comm's been dispatched. There's no factory, so this is definitely just going to die out. You can even kill that PD with the comm if you're feeling ballsy. We have Tech 2, and we are 70% towards Tech 3 for Gary. Let's go ahead and check on the opposite side of the map. Do we already have T3? We do not. We are only 40%, so it does look like Gary is going to be getting to Tech 3 much sooner than his counterpart. Well, not much sooner, but a few seconds, maybe a minute faster than our friend Zoxer. Let's go ahead and see what's going on. Down here, Printer has managed to bring more frigates here. There is this sub, so I do not think this is going to absolutely destroy the chances of our purple Seraphim here, Spey, from actually managing to hold in the Navy game, but it is definitely not good to have your Navy factory under threat this early in the game. Only 10 minutes in and being ousted would be a horrible loss. We do have a Tech 2 transport with some missile launchers and tanks, I believe. Let's just double check that. We have an Obsidian, a Eversong, and a couple of T2 engineers. Those are going to attempt to steal the island away from our rock player for Team 1. If that happens, it's not the biggest loss in the world because he's already kind of winning in the Navy game, but it can throw a wrench into your plan, especially with a couple of T2 mechs already built and the other 3 have upgrades queued. They haven't started on those upgrades. Oh, 3 T2 mechs. He is using engineers to assist that, so that is a lot of value lost. There is a T1 PD here, so this could kill the engineers very quickly, and the engineers are on the wrong side. Do not want those engineers going down. That would be very bad. But now that the Obsidian is being targeted by that T1 PD, he would want to manually target this engineer. This engineer poses the biggest threat to your expansion. But either way, it's going to be taken down with little to no issue. This little drop attempt to try and steal away that island from Printer is going to be taken down. Sorry if I'm zooming too much. I'm going to blame it on ADD. I've noticed some people saying that I zoom in and out too much. I'm going to start working on that, but it may still be a small issue. I'm just trying to keep my hand off the mouse wheel as much as possible, but it's a hard habit to break, you know. That's how I even play the game. I zoom in and out constantly, and it's I know it can be a little bit of an eyesore to watch, so I'm working on that. If you have any other advice, I am taking all feedback very seriously, and I'm doing my very best to try and make this experience as great as I can for you all without being the most professional. I do like to go off on tangents and talk about shit that's not related to FAF sometimes, you know, talking about my car or the Graf Spee, a ship from World War II, you know. I mean, I guess it's relevant because we do have navies. Even though another random fact about this game, the naval assignments of these ships is kind of right, but at the same time kind of wrong. Like, it's weird. So, for example, just the destroyers. The destroyers are almost none of them fulfill the role of a destroyer, except for maybe the destroyer for for Cybran. Destroyers are mainly focused around using torpedoes, at least if you're looking at like old stuff. If you're looking at very modern stuff, then destroyers are more so used for missiles and assisting infantry and just doing random stuff. Like, it's a lot less defined what ship does what. But if you're looking at the old definitions, a destroyer is mainly focused around either being a small gunboat, a harassing kind of gunboat type thing, or being a torpedo vessel that focuses on using torpedoes and anti-submarine warfare. And while they do beat submarines, they don't beat submarines by they beat submarines by having more hit points is what the destroyers do. And I would just like to see that, like I know it's a video game that does not give a fuck about naval classifications. It doesn't. But I'd like to see a torpedo buff and maybe a gun debuff on destroyers, like across the board. That would be pretty cool. It kind of fuck up the UEF, who have a dedicated torpedo boat and a dedicated destroyer. Destroyers act more like cruisers, just without the AA. And even then, some cruisers had not that great AA armament. Cruisers were just kind of middle of the pack between a frigate and a... whatchamacallit, I am way too sidetracked. Over here, we do have destroyers out for Zeratu, but a cruiser is like between a frigate and a battleship in armament. It's mainly decided by the caliber of your guns, I believe. I might be wrong on some of this, but I do like to know a lot about military history and such, and, you know, just random little side things that bother me. This destroyer is being very annoying, also using a mermaid to make himself even more annoying, because these artillery can never get a long enough time to solidly target the destroyer. If you actually check on Fred, yeah, it goes away. So if you just tell it to attack that, it's going to start attacking it. It'll start swiveling its, like, turret, I guess, to fire at it, but it won't actually fire because it keeps on losing targeting data. Or maybe it will, I don't know. Sometimes, like, you lose the position of an enemy, but your units still attack it perfectly fine. Especially with air units, I feel. That's going nowhere. Down here we have another solid push towards the naval production of Spey, but he is currently just ignoring it. Along with the random thing, the battlecruiser, there's only one battlecruiser in this game, or something called a battlecruiser. I guess it might be defined as a battlecruiser because it has the lasers, but at the same time, that battlecruiser, the UEF one, isn't a real battlecruiser. A battlecruiser is a cruiser, a ship with cruiser-level armor, but the firepower of a battleship. So basically, it's a cruiser that has like 15 or 16-inch guns. That kind of stuff. I'm just giving random historical stuff. I'm on a big history thing. I've been watching a lot of the Mighty Jingles and Armchair Admirals. I really like World of Warships, and I don't know. I love the Navy. It's so cool. It's probably one of my favorite things to produce in FAF. I'm really bad at playing naval positions because I'm bad at getting my balancing between ecoing and making ships. I either do want too much of one or too much of the other. And we have some destroyers, or some subs out to try and assassinate the destroyer, which I don't think it's going to happen. We do have some T1 subs coming in, bound to try and stop this little assassination attempt by the submarines of Colonel Cat. Both teams have T2, T3 air. I don't think there's been any bomber shenanigans, but I could be wrong. We do still have a bunch of T1 mexes over here, and whether that's from bomber intervention or not, I'm looking for wrecks around them, so it doesn't look like any mass storage has been killed around them. If we go ahead and check in on reclaim numbers once again, we have 11,000 for Zoxer, so our highest rated player getting the most reclaim. I'm sure that's from transporting NGs around the map. And then everybody else is kind of falling into a 3.7 to 7.6 range. Actually 2.6 for Gary. He has the least. Let's go ahead and check on mass generation. Zoxer also, well, no, Zoxer is not leading the pack here. He is at 143 per second versus Printer at 167. Zeratu at 122, Gary at 80, and then we have Freddy Fresh short stacking at 41 and 89 and 96 respectively for the two naval players. of Team 2. So overall, if we look at the overall numbers, Team 1 up here in the top left is about 30 to 50 mass ahead, depending on when you're looking at it. And in total mass numbers, Team 2, though, is ahead because they have across-the-board better reclaim numbers by about 20,000, a little bit less, 15,000 mass totals, which that's definitely accounted for by simply losing your first you're losing the first player in the game. They are definitely not getting these upgraded as fast as a player slowly would, and reclaim is not going to be as heavy here in the front. This little fire base that was building for our friend Freddy Fresh has managed to be deposed, been destroyed by a large land push combined with naval support by Zeratu. Freddy Fresh microing his comm, trying to just make sure he kills as many of these units as possible. Trying to just keep this push from continuing down towards his base. He has engineers producing here. I do not know if that's the correct response. I would definitely like to see him under attack, building more units to protect his base. He is short stacking on mass. He needs to start getting up more of either defenses or T1 units to protect himself. He's building some T1 PD back here with his comm, but this is a very dangerous situation. We do have many units, many naval units coming out from Printer to try and force him back onto the land into the army. This might be an early ejection. With the combination of destroyers here and a large land army here, there is nowhere safe for Freddy Fresh. Just move those destroyers in, get the torpedoes firing at them. Actually, the torpedoes are already firing. What is the range on those? Keep torpedoes firing at him. Do not give him a safe haven. He either needs to run away or run into the land army, or he has to run into the navy. And that's a very dangerous proposition for him right now. He is in a precarious situation here, down to 7,000 health and falling. We need some torp bombers or anything really to try and help keep him from being absolutely killed right here. He's about to be scalped. It's a very dire situation for our front player for Team 2. Stuck between a destroyer and a T2 land army. Actually, multiple destroyers. 1, 2. If these destroyers just keep sitting here, he's at 5,000 health, 4,500. It's just slowly eating away at that health point total. 3,800, 3,500. Each torpedo slamming into this comm is taking off swaths of his health. 1,500, 1,000, yeah, just 1,000. We're falling. Oh, and those destroyer shots are coming in, and that is the death of the first player for Team 2, Freddy Fresh. Both front players have now been deposed. They have been killed. They are no longer in this game. And they are no longer factors, as his base is handed over to Zoxer, the highest rated player for Team 2. We will have to see how he manages this front. Hopefully he can do better at defending against this land army that is incoming. I don't believe these T1 PD are going to... Well, they are going to stop it because he's walking headlong into it. I was going to say that Ilsheva and these artillery could have definitely killed off this T1 PD pretty easily by themselves. And with that, the teams are seemingly going into a lull. Not much unit movement towards either side. It does seem... Oh, sorry about that. Knocked something over. It does seem like there was a push over here earlier. I saw it on the minimap, but we were too busy focused on the comm. It did not manage to completely kill off anything over here, but it did threaten this, and we have a bunch of hives assisting this Tech 2 naval factory out from Colonel Cat. Colonel Cat does have control of this island. He has not upgraded any of the mexes on it. All of the mexes over here have been upgraded to T2, and some of them are, and they're all queued for T3, even though they are not quite getting the upgrade yet. If we go ahead and check on mass totals after that ejection, of course, it won't affect generation very much. Most of the base still intact. We have 253 being the front runner of anybody in the game, and that is Zoxer. Zeratu would be his kind of counterpart, but it is not, as he is at 182. Printer absolutely going mad on the eco. He is at 229 as the rock player, and he does not have any expanded mass. He has not claimed any of his allies' bases as Zeratu and Zoxer have, just ecoing out the Wuza, and he is doing quite well on eco. We can see 106 and 107 mass, very close for Spey and Colonel Cat, both on the navies. Both navies for Team 2 are seemingly going the way that it would go if you're looking at just pure rating. And it is a rather close match still. We do not have much difference in anything but mass generation. We do have a lot more mass generation for Team 1, but Team 2 is still ahead, managing to reclaim better than their opponents. Spey sitting at 10,000 reclaim, Zoxer still at 11,000, so he has not progressed much since that last engagement. We also have Colonel Cat over here. You can see his engineers going out, grabbing all of this reclaim left by that initial push, as we have Zoxer seemingly utilizing this base, giving units orders. That's always the worst thing to see, is whenever you have a player die and the full share goes to a player who's kind of oblivious or who doesn't want to manage another base. If you are a player who gets given the second base and you are not confident in your ability to actually just give orders, even if you're not being as efficient or micromanaging it as well as you could if it was just one base, as long as you're giving orders and making stuff produce, making things upgrade, just ecoing, building up infrastructure, you should be doing fine here. It is a lot to do. There is so much to do, but it is necessary if you want to play these bigger team games where full share is required. Because Seton's without full share is a steamroll every time. You will never have a comeback, or almost never have a comeback. If it's evenly matched and full share isn't on, there is too much space between your base and your allies' base for you to just run in and reclaim it. And generally, you have very large armies produced in the middle. You have a decent amount of navy produced, and it's just very difficult to get your foot back in the door without full oh my gosh, I am stumbling over my words. Without full share on maps like this. Taking a drink as I cast. Hopefully that wasn't audible, because if it was, I'm gonna have to go edit it out. But you know, that's a problem for future me. Future Willow will go into audio and fuck around and spend an hour trying to find one point where I had a burp or a cough. I've done that a lot, not gonna lie. At the 25-minute mark here, we are entering a seemingly decent lull. There is not very much going on between the teams. Let's go ahead and just look at the bases, see if anything spicy is occurring. We do have... I'm glad I looked at the base. I did catch it. We do have a nuke launcher being built for Zoxer. Let's go ahead and check on his allies. Anybody else doing anything particularly spicy? Not seeing... Well, let's zoom in here again. Sorry for zooming a bunch. We have an SMD built for our friend Spey. And then over here we have... Do we have an SMD? I don't think anybody on Team 1 has a nuke building. I'm about to go check on that. The front bases are not going to have much going on. It's just going to be turtley and possibly building up... Yeah, very turtley. It's what you do. You just turtle when your front player dies. Let's check over here. Do we have any SMD? Anything super interesting going on? I'm not seeing anything of particular note. We do have T3 Air out from Printer, so there are 2 players on Team 1 who have T3 Air. Do we have an anti-nuke building or built over here? We do not. They will want to scout that very soon. A quantum gateway on the way for Zeratu, and it does seem that we have a naval engagement here in the middle, and it is not going the way of Zeratu. He does have more production, it feels. Well, actually, it kind of is. It looks like the focus firing is definitely helping him out. It's going to be very close, but I think that Colonel Cat is going to just barely skim away with the victory here. He does have more destroyers and cruisers here. We definitely need a response of more naval production coming up for Zeratu. Let's go ahead and check. He is ahead on mass totals. Of course, he is building stuff over here, but this can largely stop building. You don't need anything. This is a defense that will hold for a while. Pretty sure this can kill a fat boy. It may not. You may need 7 artillery to kill a fat boy, but with Seraphim shields, yeah. I think you can kill a fat boy with that. It's a very defended position. You need to get your Navy game back up there. You were doing very well on it earlier. He does have multiple factories producing, but not nearly the assistance that Colonel Cat has. As we can see, this bank of hives, along with all of the assistance from these engineers over here. Although in the southern side, it does seem that our friendly, almost named Dave player, Spey, is getting kind of constricted here. These forces, these naval forces from Printer, are a anaconda constricting around the throat of the naval production. Do anacondas constrict? I feel like they would. They seem like a constriction kind of snake. I don't know enough about snakes. I like snakes. Snakes are pretty cool. But it is slowly bleeding him out. He is losing so much safe waters. Units slowly pushing in, losing mass extractors to destroyers. Much bad things happening for Spey. Let's go ahead and check in on that nuke launcher. It is currently 50%. Is this scouted? They have no idea. Oh, they have no idea. We need to check on the players and see if they are just preemptively building an SMD anywhere. I'm not seeing one. Normally you see one back here for the rock player. That is going to turn the tides of this game very quickly if it manages to land in the middle of somebody's fully developed base. And I'm not seeing any SMD built for anybody. Maybe I'm missing it. I'm going to give a close look over here. I would think that Printer would have one. He has so much income. It's just something you build. It's 27 minutes in. It's something that you want to get up. But I'm not seeing it happen. He's just queued it. That's going to be brutal. If it hits Printer, it's especially brutal. We'll have to see where that's going. Let's see if he's given it a preemptive target. Sometimes players do that. We can just press shift. He has not. That nuke is coming out, and it's going to come out very quickly. We do have... that nuke's coming out. That nuke is coming out of the closet. It is letting the world know its intent. A massive ball of restorers just destroying the naval efforts of Printer over here. That is very painful. As we have a cruiser out here by Spey, it's just picking on these structures built here in the middle, these factories and such. There is a decent amount of flak built up right here. I don't think you want to send the restorers into that. They may be able to kill it all off, but with the Kiefer class aircraft carrier and all that, you probably do not want that going on. Have they scouted it yet? They still have not. Zoxer, how close are you to building your nuke? It is about to finish. We are about to witness a apocalyptic event. I'm trying to get a good view without the shield in the way. Okay, screw it. Control V, free cam. I want to see this launch, damn it. Launch it. Let me see this silo of doom. Fire. You've already built a nuke, man. Just fire it. I know that everybody's going to be upset because the minimap's not showing anything because I went into free cam like a retard, but yes, fire the nuke. Fire it. Give me what I want. Oh, Jesus. My game, I tabbed out. Oh, yes.
Strategic launch detected.
That torpedo of doom as it leaves the tube. It is going to kill everything. I don't know why I called it a torpedo of doom. One second, I gotta fix my camera here. And let's pull everything back after I did that shenanigans and see where this nuke is heading. It is indeed going to be heading towards Gary? Is that Gary who it's after? Avenger claiming GG in the chat. I don't know if Gary was the best choice. It does seem like you're already winning air. But I guess you could get rid of the air production here. Printer escaping with his comm, just sending it out. Gary has just finished his SMD. He's attempting to build a missile, an anti-nuke missile, in the time it takes a nuke to travel. That does not work, my friend. You would need a Paragon or multiple Paragons and more hives than this to make that one happen. Oh, is the nuke going to manage? Is it going to manage? No, it's not gonna manage. Oh, that is devastating for Team 2. And that is going to be Gary Control K-ing. He has given up. He does not want to attempt to rebuild. Even with his T3 mexes, he probably doesn't have the power generation to even support building again. All of his T3 power was there. And his base is going to go to Printer. So now it is a 2v3 on the map. And that is exceptionally dangerous. We do have an SMD out now for Printer. I'm sure that Zoxer has the second nuke building very quickly. We'll have to see if there is any progress. And over here, I've been completely oblivious to it. The Navy has been completely lost for Zeratu. He is out of this match as far as this top pond is considered this top ocean. The West Ocean, the Pacific is gone. I know I call it the West Ocean because the Pacific, even though... Listen, I'm from America, goddammit. The Pacific Ocean has been lost. The Atlantic is still going strong. The Atlantic's still a bright spot. The East Coast doing us proud. But the West Coast is in shambles. Communism took over in California, and then it decided to have its big earthquake and slide into the sea. Oh, man. Things I didn't think I would be saying when I woke up today. That is a devastating turn of events. Although, in mass generation, Team 1 is still killing it, and in total mass, over 100,000 mass more accrued over this game for Team 1. That is definitely devastating. Their Tier 3 air production is not yet going to be the bane of their existence or their death. We do have a sizable amount of air production out from Printer already. He's producing more air factories. He has aircraft carriers, 4 aircraft carriers out, and they provide a lot of anti-air, and they provide the ability to build more, well, T3 air units. So he is going to do quite a bit. Some salt in the chat. Read up. Just feast your eyes on this sexy salt. I love myself some salt. It's so delicious. Oh, yeah. Get that salt. Oh, man, the flame. The absolute rage in these players. Ah, beautiful. That keyboard warrior mentality strikes again. We all love us some keyboard warriors. Don't lie. Don't lie. We all know it's fun. You're going to want to lift off these planes because right now they are dying quite piecemeal. Yeah, pull those away. They don't belong there. All right, Printer. Printer is my friend. I'm gonna go ahead and say that. I do think Printer is a cool dude. You didn't have an SMD built. You had an SMD queued. You didn't have one built either. This is kind of hypocritical. Gonna throw that one at you. Flaming somebody for not building SMD at 27 minutes when you haven't built SMD at 27 minutes. Yeah, it doesn't really hold up.
Strategic launch detected.
As I say that, whoa, another nuke already out. Where is that targeted? Is that targeting here? We do have this anti-nuke. It is very close to completing. It is, looking at the minimap, going to be coming over here. Let's go ahead and just get a bird's eye view of what's going to be going on here. Ah, no, that just looks stupid. Oh, but you know what? That looks alright. Oh, wait. Is that nuke going for the naval production? This probably is going to look great. I'm sure that just gave everybody motion sickness, but hey, I like to give interesting viewpoints of everything. Oh no, it's going for the island from the looks of it. Come on, land somewhere. I just want to see it from this viewpoint because I'm weird and I like cinematography or something. And that's the death of the island, though it did not get rid of these two T3 mexes on the edge of the island. Let me go ahead and fix the camera again. And camera is fixed. I could probably just fix it by hitting end, but you know, doing things the difficult way is always fun. As these destroyers are going to start coming on land, this is very horrible. Zeratu losing a lot of land, a lot of production, just so much off of losing the island. So many Salem classes just going to start pouring onto land and causing issues. There is definitely some dire straits inbound for Team 1. It's not quite to the point of irrecoverable yet, but it is very dangerous. We are about to be in pretty much a 3 versus 1. As Zeratu has been effectively removed from the game after doing so well in the Navy and then doing so well at the front. He has managed to lose a grip on the plot. He has lost his script. He is no longer being quite so dominant, and it is definitely a hindrance for Team 1. He has played very well, but losing grip of the Navy has really punished him. And it is true that Rock almost always wins the Navy, and we do have this mirrored down here. We have a bunch of battleships plowing their giant cannon loads into these why do I say things like this? Just absolutely dropping these giant plasma shells all over the base, splooging that Aeon goodness into these structures. Although, that's a lot of restorers. Like, a lot of restorers. Is there going to be an ASF response? Yes. That is a lot of restorers. They do take a while to kill each of these battleships, and we do have cruisers and Kiefer class aircraft carriers. I like saying Kiefer class because I think it sounds funny. Kiefer. But yes, we have a lot of air presence over here for Team 2, just attempting to quell this battleship and cruiser push. Although they are trying desperately to stop these battleships, they are still making some progress at shelling the enemy. They have killed the SMD, or no, they haven't. They're killing off a lot of engineers and one of the mass points. That, at the very least, is a victory. Get this shield. Yep, they got the shield. And we have engineers building T1 anti-air over here. And an experimental unit has been built by multiple people? Who else has built an experimental? We have a Galactic Colossus out from Printer and a Fat Boy out from Zoxer. This horde of restorers. How many restorers is that? 18 restorers just absolutely going to town on everything. All of the anti-air in the world. We have anti-air coming from these aircraft carriers, anti-air coming from cruisers, T1 PD being built, not making the slightest difference. Team 1 now massively behind on mass totals. Almost the entire mass total of mass production for Team 1 is almost matched by Zoxer alone for Team 2. They are producing half the mass as their opponents, but as far as reclaim goes, they're not even doing as well on reclaim, honestly. They're just not doing well at... Get these engineers reclaiming. Or are you unable to spend your mass currently? You are spending your mass. Reclaim! Reclaim orders! Attack orders! Don't build flak! Well, I mean, maybe build flak. Those restorers have become a massive pain in your ass. Not gonna lie, Printer. It's pretty tilting. Restorer spam destroying all of your battleships. Alright, let's go ahead and check on air numbers. Probably something I should have done forever ago. But we have 70 ASF plus... Can I select you? 70 plus 24, so just under 100 for Team 1. Versus 9 for Team 2. There is not nearly enough ASF. As Zeratu has come in with the Telemazer. Oh my gosh, I'm so oblivious. I didn't see this happening. But the Telemazer has come in. It's going to kill off Zoxer, and that puts a different sway on this game. He's not going to lose any of his production, but he is dead, and that is a massive hindrance for Team 2, who is behind on air production. They don't have enough ASF. Oh, this could kill a lot of ASF. Oh, this could kill a lot of ASF. It's not going to, but it could have killed a large number of ASF. So now we are in a 2v2, or rather almost a 1v1. That was a last-ditch effort out from our... Oh wait, nope, that's not his actual comm. Where's his actual comm? His actual comm's over here still. Zeratu teleporting out, but that was an absolute hero play. And now he's teleporting over here to try and find another comm. If these restorers could just make their way over, he just needs to send the restorers. There's so many of them. Oh my gosh, why are you sending your Volthus out? Use your Volthus. Where's the comm for Spey? Where is your comm? Where'd you put it? Oh, it's back at the base of his dead ally Zoxer. So many structures going down here. We have power generators, shield generators, tier 3 HQs, everything just being absolutely destroyed as Zeratu is just going to teleport away before this becomes another issue. Oh my word! Zeratu getting so much value out of a teleport comm. Is it going to pop up over here now? No, he wouldn't dare. He wouldn't dare. Yet again, the stutter, apparently it's going to be fixed in a future FAF patch, but it only affects certain people, and I'm one of those people. Unfortunately, I'm casting, so yeah, just unfortunate. Where did his comm go? I'm having trouble seeing it on the mini-map. I don't see it anywhere. I guess we can just do it the cheaty way. Let's go ahead and grab you. Where's your comm? You moved it right here. Alright, his comm's right here. That telemazer coming in clutch. Absolutely throwing a huge wrench into the plans of Team 2. But this is not over yet. There is still a dominant navy that has made its passage over this little strip of land, sending all of these Salems across the strait to attempt to fight off the navy of Printer, to stop it from growing, to stop it from coming in and destroying everything. This match truly is Printer versus Colonel Cat right now. These two players have the most production and the most use of everything. Zeratu probably unable to spend his mass, as I would have suspected. He is currently being repaired by engineers, which, I mean, I guess that's a lot of build power. You can repair it really quickly, but that's a little suspect. Oh man, this has made a massive change in the game. Let's check on the base over here. We have a Tsar on the way and another GC. What happened to the original GC? Is it dead somewhere? Do I see a giant number anywhere? Is it just chilling out? Printer, where's your GC? Oh, his GC's over here walking. Oh wait, no. No, Printer, where's your living GC? Oh, it died somewhere. Alright, gotcha. Where did it die? Oh, it died over here. Alright, that's a dead GC. Completely missed that one. I've missed probably 90% of the actually cool shit going on, but even despite that, a lot of cool shit's going on that we're actually seeing. And over here we have the absolute end-all be-all of striker spam rolling up the middle. This so well defended position out from Zeratu has just been dismantled by the naval forces of Colonel Cat, and now Colonel Cat is just sending all of the tanks down the middle. He's going to try and just destroy anything that Zeratu has. Hopefully manages to find his way into Printer's base, although I highly doubt it, as Printer could just make a bunch of gunships, honestly. He doesn't even really need ASF anymore. There's not a massive production of it out from Colonel Cat, I don't believe. He has 11 ASF. I'm not seeing any ASF out for Spey either. And we have another experimental completed. I'm guessing that's probably a GC out over here. No? Who built an experimental? And where? I know I'm zooming too much, but now I really want to know. I don't know where that experimental was built. Alright then. As far as we know, there wasn't an experimental built. Unless it was built maybe back here. Nope, just a comm with a bunch of PD. This is a massive ball of strikers. How many? 267 tanks. Just calmly sitting here. More tanks than most people will ever need. And it's not doing anything because it's decided to sit here by itself. As a GC is being built just across the way, just across the little channel here. Does Printer even know about this? Oh, yep, definitely knows. Colonel Cat is currently sitting in the water, very safe, and they're asking to scout for other comms. And this comm is not going to die to a comm snipe, I don't believe. 16 PD plus the shields is probably enough. Maybe if you feathered it just perfectly and put your comm in between the shields so it's not overlapping anymore and you're just directly attacking the comm, you could possibly kill him before the PD kill you. Okay. Zooming out and taking a look at the state of the game, mass generation is somewhat equal now, even though somebody's power stalling. Are you power stalling? Are you? You don't affect the mass totals very much. Are you power stalling? You could have been power stalling. Somebody was power stalling at some point, but they've gotten it under control now. As it popped up saying another experimental was built, but I don't know. Maybe that's just bugged because it's only doing it whenever I select certain players, it feels. Unless the GC over here was built. No, it wasn't. GC over here built? Nope, it's not. Do we have a Zar floating around anywhere? We have so many experimentals queued up for Printer. I'm surprised none of them are completed. This fat boy not completed yet. Yeah, I'm just not sure about it. Also, that Navy that was built by that was sent over here by our friend Colonel Cat, it's been dispatched. It's been destroyed, mostly by these torp bombers, I would guess. As we have some Torrent class missile ships absolutely bombarding the shit out of Space Base, or former base, I don't really know. It probably at this point would be a good idea to throw some of this massive base conglomerate you have, Colonel Cat, throw some of it over to Spey, let him do something, let him use his actions per minute towards something more useful than just trying to get out engineers over here to build something. Zoxer says nearly done. Finish that fat boy. Yep, right here. And that fat boy is going to finish. And that should help him out a bit. Spey has managed to produce a T3 air factory. And yep, that is the fat boy done. A Zar has been completed and is going to be used to kill this fat boy. And there's no response because Team 2 does not have air control. Unless there's some amazing play, I'm kind of seeing it, not seeing Team 1 losing this. They had some dire straits. They had to deal with quite a bit of trouble and surprise nukage and so much going on, but it does seem that the reign of Team 2 with the departure of Zoxer via Telemazer, a very nice first class ticket to hell, has, you know, pretty solidly shoot in this game as a win for Team 1. Of course, anything can happen. Team 1 could lose some brain cells and just decide to not push their advantage, but Printer and Zeratu have thrown so much into stopping Team 1's snowball that was, or Team 2's snowball that was going on. Let's go ahead and check on numbers. Is Zeratu finally spending his mass? Nope. Is Printer spending all of that overflow mass? Yep. Is Colonel Cat? Colonel Cat is also not spending their mass. They do not have the power currently. Colonel Cat, you need power. You need to build some power, buddy. The Zar was gifted over to Zeratu. He says, I don't know what to do with it, and Printer just says, have fun. That's pretty wholesome. A nuke was built by Zeratu because I'm oblivious and I miss everything. Surprised I caught the first nuke launcher, and it is launching a nuke out towards somewhere. Hell, it may just be to kill all these destroyers that are walking onto land. Is it? It is. It's just gonna kill. No, it's not. It's not stopping. It's going for mid? It's going for mid. Or is it going for the airbase? I'm not entirely sure where this is going. I'm guessing it's going for mid if I just have to make a educated guess here. Give Fat Boy to Spay. That is going to happen. Yep, it's going for the airbase, which is not defended from does not have an anti-nuke working currently. And a push of Wagner's has managed to push off these Torrent classes, which that's a little bright spot as a nuke lands and absolutely kills everything that Spay has been working on for a little bit. Gun speed and range on the way for Spay. Maybe going gun comm into teleport. Teleport gun comm. And since we're just waiting for something interesting to happen, I'll go ahead and read a comment. Justin Kimbriel Cope says, "Keep up the good work." I am. I'm doing that right now. Thank you for the comment on the last video which went up, which is the 3v3 Favcast on Twin Rivers. I just put that out today. Now I'm recording this, and we should have a whole bunch of good stuff going on. Okay. Since, I mean, there's stuff going on, but it's not consequential, I'm going to knock it up to +1, because that's all my CPU can handle. Bless its little old heart. And we're just going to speed it up as much as we can while we wait. We do have these destroyers, but they're going to be killed by a Tsar. We have plenty of stuff going on. Oh, nope, that's just making the lag worse. We have plenty of stuff going on. I think this is literally just coming down to, can we manage to get the 2 comms for Team 2 killed? Because the players for Team 1 seem kind of unassailable at this point. Do we even have anti-nuke down here? Probably. Yep, we do have an anti-nuke. No shielding, though. Printer, what are you building in your base? You building anything? You're building a GC. That's a good investment. Everybody likes GCs. Galactic Colossuses. Colossi. Colossu. Tiramisu. Yeah, nothing extremely compelling going on here. We do have a patron built. Let's see, Printer, did you build? You built 24 PD. Awesome. 21 is the magic number you need if you're unshielded, by the way. I'm 99% sure that that's still true. That's the number you need to kill the comm and not die to the laser. Where did the comm of Colonel Cat go? Where's your comm? It's over here with a bunch of engineers over it. Do they know about that? They know there's a bunch of engineers here. They don't know about the comm. Well, I guess you could guess that's a comm pretty easily. We're playing Comm Hunter, the game. We have this GC who has walked all the way up the middle, pretty much uncontested, or maybe it was one of the GCs built out here. This is just GCs and Tsars and everything floating around this entire map. Lots of Aeon experimentals going through. The Fat Boys have all died. Here's a dead fat boy. There's a dead fat boy up here. Probably another dead fat boy somewhere. As the GC just marches on towards the main base of Colonel Cat. And at some point it seems that either via control... I wasn't paying attention, to be honest. Either via Control K or via telemazer, it does seem that our friend Spey, who is very close to being called Dave, decided to bow out of this one. He was not achieving very much with his Wagner spam. He wasn't getting very far with anything, so I can respect it if it was a Control K, and if it wasn't a Control K, then kudos to the man for staying in for as long as he did. Or she. I say he a lot, but Spey could be a she. You know. Gotta be fair. Just gonna start calling all of these gamers it. This GC is just gonna walk here. I'm sorry, I'm out of things to say. This video's been an hour and 6 minutes in the making, and I blew all of my random tidbits and facts and tangents in like the first 20 minutes, because I guess I'm premature in that sense. I just, throw everything out immediately.
Strategic launch detected.
Another nuke on the way. I'm guessing that's from our friend Zeratu, who's been very eventful this game. Is that nuke gonna land on the comm? Would that be a comm sniping nuke? Nope, it just looks like it's gonna land on the GC for, it'd be funny if that landed on the GC for Printer. Absolutely sniped his own teammate's GC. Would kill it. It was a good game, Zoxer. Thank you for not being salty about dying to a telemazer. That's a very easy thing to be salty about. I've felt that salt before. It's like, oh, I was doing everything perfectly. I was playing so well. Well, nobody's doing everything perfectly. I was playing so well. I was doing so good. And then I died to a stupid, cheesy tactic from a Cybran because their comm can get one of the most powerful weapons in the game. GG from Zeratu, GG from Printer. Everybody's claiming good game. Everybody's saying, hey, look at me. I'm being a good sport. We do have Colonel Cat, who is refusing to give up. He will continue to attempt to kill as many units, get those stats padded. Colonel Cat did put up quite the great fight. He was the shining light, other than Zoxer, of Team 2. Zoxer was keeping Spey afloat with the air units. When he went down, this flank completely collapsed. And of course, you also had our friend... Is that a telemazer? Is there a telemazer? There is a telemazer. He's going to be getting back at Zeratu by killing off some of his shit. But yeah, Colonel Cat is gonna die to a Tsar and some strap bombers, and that's gonna be the end of the game. But Colonel Cat was the shining light. He did manage to win his navy. He did manage to just absolutely push Zeratu off of his main base, and Zeratu went for the telemazer, which unfortunate the way it went down for Team 2, but there has to be a loser, and if you're gonna lose, losing in such a cool fashion is definitely the way to go. Props to Colonel Cat, props to Zoxer, props to Spey, props to Freddy Fresh, props to Avenger, props to Gary, props to Zeratu, and props to Printer. Everybody in this game absolutely played their heart out, and I loved it. Thank you so much for joining me for this cast, and I can't wait to see you again in the near future. Bye-bye! Oh wait, actually, also check out my YouTube channel, or not. Consider subscribing. Check out my Discord, and yeah, subscribe, like, Discord, dislike if you didn't like it and you managed to watch through an hour and 9 minutes of a cast that you didn't want to watch. Actually, at this point, you'll probably be sitting through like an hour and 11 minutes, because I'm gonna have like the half a minute to a minute long little preamble thing. And yeah, I don't think I'm gonna put a spoiler guard on this game because it's already gonna be an hour and 15 minutes long. So yeah, absolutely fuck that. I don't want to spend all day tomorrow uploading this. My net's shit. And yeah, thank you very much for joining me. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye. Here's a look at some SimCity for you. I'll give you some SimCity before you go. Yep, just look at that beautiful base. Alright, goodbye!